Hey, this is Greg with 7 Lights Nutrition. I'm making this video today on how to help alleviate allergies and sinus related problems, and also how to strengthen your immune system in the cold and flu season. And I have two products that we sell that work phenomenally well for this. Sulfur Defense, which is pure MSM crystals made in the USA, and our Sulfur Defense vertical spray, which contains pure MSM along with colloidal silver and a dash of essential peppermint oil, which helps to open up the nasal passages. The silver helps to disinfect the nasal passages. The MSM helps to relieve the inflammation and control that histamine response that's going on. And also, when you use the Sulfur Defense internally, it helps to actually do the same thing. It helps to eliminate the inflammation, and it minimizes that histamine response. And this is 100% natural. This is a mineral supplement. Colloidal silver is a mineral supplement. And essential peppermint oil works to help open the nasal passages. There's a story here that you see on the background of my computer. I'm going to show you on the screen. There is actually clinical data supported by the USNIH to show that MSM helps naturally to work for allergies and sinus related issues, and also colloidal silver. So I'm going to show you both of those in a second. But first, let me tell you about my own personal testimony. I used to deal with allergies for years before I ever started selling MSM or found out about MSM. I would wake up in the morning and literally my feet would hit the ground, my eyes would burn, my nose would run, I'd sneeze all day long, and nothing would ever work. I took every natural supplement under the sun, and I used to take over-the-counter allergy medication when it would get really bad, just because I couldn't function. I'd have to get on the phone, talk to customers, sitting here blowing my nose and sneezing. It's like, this is embarrassing, and I would hate to take it. I'm in the supplement field, and every time I took it, it used to bug me. I'm like, man, I got to find a better way to get around this. And I had a dog. I have pet allergies, and I was in an old warehouse working for many years, so probably mold and mildew, who knows what else. But that's not an excuse. I don't agree that we should be dealing with these kind of issues. I had a customer call me yesterday. She says, man, I have the same thing going on in my life. My eyes are burning, my nose, I'm blowing my nose, it's running all the time. And I said, you really need to try these two products, because they've worked for me. So if they work for me and there's government documentation backing it up, then they should work for you. So I started by taking 1 teaspoon of the crystal MSM sulfur powder, and within 2 or 3 days of doing that, most of my allergy issues completely went away. I'm talking like 80 to 90% gone. And I take this stuff all the time, and I'm talking 9 or 10 years later now, and I rarely ever have any issues with my allergies. I also use the vertical spray almost on a daily basis. Not even necessarily for allergies, but for an immune protectant to help my body, especially during the cold and flu season. Listen, I've had those flus before. They always start in the back of your nose. You can feel that ticky, scratchy feeling. Then it gets down into your throat. Next thing you know, you're sneezing, you're coughing. It gets into your lungs. You're sick with a fever, or you have a head cold for 3 weeks and you can't get rid of it. Ever since I started using this product, I spray it up my nose several times a day, 2 to 3 pumps up each nostril, breathe it in. Guess what? I have never had the flu since. That's been about 10 years. And I have not had a head cold that's lasted longer than probably 24 to 36 hours. Because the minute I feel that scratchy, tickly feel in the back of my throat, I blast it with this stuff. And then I also take the sulfur. Now I have another bottle here because we have the Sulfur Defense in capsules. If you don't want a crystallized powder, you don't want to have the hassles of mixing up a powder, then take it in capsules. It works the same. There's a 90 count bottle and a 180 count bottle. So anyway, I would highly recommend this. But watch the rest of this video. I'm going to actually prove to you documentation-wise with our own government how this stuff works. Okay, so here's the first study. Colloidal silver, a novel treatment for Staphylococcus aureus biofilms. And I'm not going to read the whole article here. You can pull it up if you're watching a YouTube video. Then look at the more link below, and I'll have a link to this actual study. If you don't have that, go to Google and put in colloidal silver, staph infection, USNIH. You should be able to find this article as well. So, long story short, colloidal silver is an alternative medicine consisting of silver particles suspended in water, and they use this as a nasal spray, spraying it up the nose for people that were struggling with this problem. And lo and behold, guess what we found out? Results: significant differences from control were found for all concentrations tested, bar the lowest of 10 UL colloidal silver. All right, so this article really caught my attention years ago, evaluating the impacts of methylsulfonylmethane on allergic rhinitis after a standard allergen challenge. So basically what they did is they took a number of patients, they injected allergens into their system, exposed them to allergens, and then tested them with MSM to see how it worked on them. You can read this article. Again, I'll put a link in the below section here on YouTube so you can find this. But if you don't have that, go to Google and put in MSM allergies, USNIH. You will find this article. So objective, the study aimed to determine the effects of MSM consumption on allergic rhinitis symptoms. And then it gets into all the methods, what they did, and then the results, which is, and the conclusions are what is really more important. All MSM treatment courses significantly reduced visual analog scale average nasal symptoms in a longitudinal comparison across all participants with low dose treatments, decreasing symptoms by 53.72%. That's astounding. You can read the rest of this in the article. Conclusions: the MSM study provided significant relief of allergic rhinitis symptoms and objective nasal obstruction measurements without the occurrence of adverse events. Why no adverse events? Because it's a natural mineral supplement. This is not a drug. This is not something that's going to cause toxic response in your body. It's a safe, natural mineral supplement. This, along with the colloidal silver, has tremendous allergy relieving potential in the body.